Welcome back to the stage of destiny.
Yeah. We talked about this before, but I do this often. I will pick things up and put things down. That's why I know you saw the first episode of my other project.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that came up. It was this idea of picking things up, putting them down, which is great, except that when there's too much time in between the picking up and the putting down, then you lose momentum.
That's funny. So, I used to do this exercise. I did this play called Red Noir, and part of the play was that the players went down into the audience, and the audience would get rid of their chairs.
Yeah.
And the entire theater would become the stage, and every audience member was now a player in the play. So you would mime them through activities, and one of the activities I did every single show was every show, every single show.
Do you miss it?
Performing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do.
All right.
I think I do. When you entertain, you go from being this self to this self. Even if you miserably fail at it, you're still trying to be this self, in the hopes that you will get other people to be sparked to understand that they could be this self, or they could just discover something about themselves or humanity in general.
Yeah.
And there's, even if you don't achieve those things, just the attempt to do that is really gratifying. It can be really gratifying. It can be really electrifying. And it can really get you in the moment. And being in the moment is alive. It's a big reason why I love fighting.
Yeah.
You're ripped into the moment no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And you live in it.
I feel like even a major reason why I'm even here now is because I'm getting to this point where I don't know what the fuck else to do. And like I remember the couple times that I was here, when I came to Spar, I was like, man, I get why people do this shit. Because it's just like, all right, there are people out there to the side who are the other students who are watching, but they're not even on the fucking radar.
Yeah.
It's just in there. Yeah. And then just like someone's voice saying, all right, do this thing. Yeah. Look out for this thing. Don't do that thing.
Yeah.
And then that's literally it.
No yesterday, no tomorrow.
No.
Only right now.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I thought about your two spars that you had here, the last two that I remember.
Yeah.
And it made me remember about when we first met. We met on the set. We were at the Living Theater where I was doing the play that you just told you about.
Yeah.
Red Noir. And so we met working. That was our first time meeting, even though it was among a crew of people that we knew, and the captain was directing. It was his story.
Yeah.
I met you when you were this person, as we all are.
Yeah.
But then working to be this version of ourselves through these characters. So when we met, we were working.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was watching Kwabena go from Kwabena to, the character. Now, the reason why it feels so similar is because I've now coached you to fight, and you've come and fought. When you spar, you are fighting.
Yeah.
It's just a level below getting paid or having a win-lose situation on the line.
Yeah.
So I watched you come through the door as this Kwabena, and then put on gloves and headgear and shin pads and be this Kwabena. Forced to be this Kwabena, under danger of blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing of the stakes of fighting are blood. The stakes of fighting are is pain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And also entertainment, also showing people the reaches, the depths of human performance physically and mentally. And that's why it mirrors acting so much, because if the stakes are high enough and you're emotionally invested and you're really trying to live this life to communicate to other people, you get in the moment the same way. You really do.
Yeah.
It's electrifying, you know?
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that I really, really continuously just talk about, whether it's just in passing or on the podcast with Angelo, is that same thing of, you know, what is it to be able to tap into that, you know, like we say on command, but within reason, right? You know, it's like when it's time to, you know, when it's time to do the thing, like what just turns on, it's here. It's almost, there's just no way you cannot.
You cannot, yeah, you cannot.
There's just no way you can.
You cannot.
And I go back to my, you know, auditions or whatever, and I sit with that as to, all right, you know, how does that translate to this? You know, why do I treat them differently, or how can I look at them, you know, similarly? And there's this is just me thinking out loud, but there's just like, there's something about time.
Oh, wow.
It's like here, there is no time to do the thing. Like you just have to just like, okay, like I can't do the Libra thing where I sit and I start weighing out options and I'm like, it's like, no, you gotta kind of just like commit to that shit real quick.
You have to surrender to the moment.
Yeah. And
it's similar, you know, fighting and acting are similar that way. You have to surrender to the moment.
Yeah.
Seriously, you have to surrender to the moment. The jab might hit you, the jab might miss, you might slip the jab, you might block the jab, and you're not 100% sure what you're going to do until the moment comes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another great thing, another parallel is that you have to pay equally as much attention to the player in front of you as you do to yourself. And if you mess that up, it could be tragic.
It's weird.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, because, you know, even as we're just talking out loud, it's one of these things where, you know, you come in here and there are stakes, and I feel like what I am connecting better now is, instead of the stakes for something like an audition being like, you know, whether or not one actually, like, you know, books the job or whatever. It's to, you know, let that saunter off into the distance and then switch the stakes to, you know, what are the stakes for the character, or, you know,
sure.
You know, how those stakes can serve that role. And so this is just me just really just talking out loud.
Yeah.
It's been fun doing this, and then seeing how this spills over into all other aspects of life.
All roads lead to enlightenment.
Yeah, you said that last time.
Yeah, all roads lead to enlightenment. And if you're doing anything right, it will teach you lessons about life as well. Hard lessons, soft lessons, easy lessons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good lessons, bad lessons, mistakes, triumphs. All roads.
I know, it's wild, right? And I feel like sometimes I run into that challenge of forgetting that, and so I'll pursue one endeavor, and I'm like, oh no, but I'm betraying this other endeavor, and then I'll jump back to that. So like I'll jump between projects really quickly, and as I'm been getting on in time, I'm just like, all right, you know what? I can afford to just push through with this one project and know that it'll spill over into other ones.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's actually been really cool, for example, for the Rogue Actors podcast, but then also enjoying the process of talking about myself, which is interesting because, I don't know, for a while I just really never talked about myself, or like I was always the Batman of the group, just hanging out in the shadows, kind of just like, is he gonna show up? Yeah, he's gonna show up. If he says he's gonna show up, he's gonna show up.
So, you got Bruce Wayne money?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
Because I was gonna ask to borrow some money.
No. We don't have the Bruce Wayne bucks yet. Not yet.
I got some projects I'd like to get done, funded.
Working on it. But yeah, that's the thing. It would be a joy to be able to just.
I will say this. Whether regardless of what road you're on, there are these high moments of triumph and accomplishment that usually take years of sacrifice and dedication. And when you hit those moments, people love them and they share them with you, and they're definitely inspired by it. But they miss the real work.
Yeah.
That is the smallest moment of all the real work. They miss literally the blood, sweat, and tears that took you to get to that moment. I think podcasts shed a lot of light on that, actually.
Yeah.
They shed a lot of light on that. The process that it took to get to that moment of triumph, regardless of what that moment is. Also, the moment of failure is very important too.
Yeah.
And it misses all of the failures because literally you fail every day. Literally you fail every day. Literally you triumph every day. Until you hit a moment, a mark, an undiscovered country, an undiscovered thing, idea. Do you know what I mean? And people love that moment of triumph. And they also love the moment of failure. And they love the moment of new discovery. But they literally miss all of the steps to get there. Yeah. And I think people need to see a lot more of the steps to get there, a lot more of the sacrifice to get there. And how actually it's life. A lot of people are not living their lives, they're waiting for moments to happen rather than chasing moments, putting themselves out there to discover moments, failing over and over until they learn, And I think podcasting, as big a medium as it is very important. It's really important for showing the moments in between.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've come to really see and know is that I think that's why for me, the conventional way of the traditional way that I've seen most people document their journeys, their experiences, tends to be very snapshot-y, like very short, brief, kind of like just the best moments.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that that's changing a lot, but for me, I just for some reason just doesn't resonate. Where as of late, when I've just been turning the camera on and letting it roll, and then just saying, all right, what happens here?
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to control everything, which I've been told many times that I have attempted to do, or someone will be like, "You're controlling," like me. But there are times where it comes out because there's this thing of wanting everything to be perfect. It's like, yeah, no, that doesn't track with like real world experience. Even today, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna have some wireless lav mics so we get good sound. And then the lav mics were like, yeah, we're not working today. Like, all right, cool, bet.
Improvise.
Yeah, but it's funny because like I said, yeah, we've known each other for a while, but like I still feel like I don't know you, and that's one of the things too. And so, just really quickly for
2010,
anyone,
2010, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
I think. 09
Yeah.
or 09 or 10.
Yeah.
09 or 10.
Yeah, when I came back from college and like
I was in it, baby. I was doing it. I was doing plays. I was doing TV shows. I was doing commercials. It was all clicking when I met you. All of it. All of it. It was a high moment. I was like, okay, I think this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be my career. I had days where I was being a dad and a personal trainer and a stage actor and a film or television actor, just crushing it.
Yeah.
It was 09 and 2010. That's when we met. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
So it's been 14 years. 14 years goes fast.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's super weird. Because I still remember at the end of Pillow Fight, we had pillow for like feathers and stuff all over the place. And then like, I wanted to help out, so I took like a broom and started sweeping. And then you came and you were like, no, I'll do that. I was like, no. You were like, nope, I'll do that. You took the broom and you was like, huh, you do that. And I was just like, This man is very direct. Okay. I was like, okay. I was like, cool.
I am so direct. People don't like it.
Oh man.
People do not like it.
But yeah, no. So just for anyone who doesn't know who you are, just name and how you came to be.
My name is Albert Lamont. My parents fell in love. They did the wild thing, the nasty, the original sin.
Maybe not the literal, but I think sometimes I don't know that I got the story of how you started fighting though. I don't know that I got.
Okay.
I don't know that I got that.
I'm still embarrassed about this, but it's true. Okay. I was 11 years old, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was the new action star. He did 2 movies. His first one was Bloodsport. His second one was Kickboxer. I used to be in the foster system, okay? And my mother got her act together and came and got me out of the foster system. And at 11 years old, one of the first things we did is she took me to the movies. And we went to see Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport. And I watched that movie. I love that movie. I still love that movie. Yeah. I'm a fan of JVCD.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm well aware that I could probably beat the piss out of him in real life. You know, but when you're a kid, it's a movie.
Yeah.
I watched that movie. There's all the cinematic fights and him doing the splits and looking like a god and all of that stuff. In that movie, there are maybe a collection of 5 total seconds of real Muay Thai fighting. And when I saw it, I was like, I can feel it in my back right now. What was that? I remember that feeling. What was that? Then back in the day, it used to be public access television, and like I'd be up Saturdays at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and Inside Martial Arts would come on. And I saw a clip of Muay Thai fighting. It was America versus England, which is nuts to think about back in the late 80s. That's even a thing.
Yeah.
Because Muay Thai was so unwell known out in the States. And the English guy walked up to the American guy in the first round and kicked him directly in his shin. And the fight was over from one kick. The guy hit the floor and was grabbing his leg. And I was like, what was that? I was a big fan of boxing, as we all were. I grew up watching Mike Tyson on Channel 7. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Knocking
people out. Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran. I grew up watching these people fight, and boxing was amazing. A mixed race, growing up in Harlem, I had to fight every day being this fair skin. Every day was beat up on the white boy day. Had to learn how to fight. You know, you eventually realize you don't have any choice, so you fight. So I was already fighting with my hands.
Yeah.
But I guess I wanted to fight with my feet really bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, growing up in Harlem with no father, getting into what television was telling me I was supposed to do, crime and drugs and nonsense. I don't know what happened. All I know is that I didn't want to try to be a criminal anymore. I wanted to smile. I wanted girls to not be afraid of me because I was prettier than I am now. But everyone thought I was a troublemaker. I wasn't particularly good at being a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, but I could fight. And I wanted to fight with my feet. And a friend of mine started playing judo, and I liked it. And I was like, you know, I think I really want to do Thai boxing. I didn't even know it was called Muay Thai at the time.
Yeah.
I think I want to do Thai boxing. First place I found was a total dud. Was not real. Was not real. Second place I found, I walked in, it was disgusting, dirty, run down, and there was sweat and noises and smashing pads everywhere. And I knew I was in the right place. I went there for the first week. At the end of the first week, they said, in 3 months, you fight. I said, Okay. And I had my first fight 3 months later.
Oh, that's OD.
In 1997. 1997.
That's OD.
And I've been fighting.
Yeah.
I fought ever since. Oh, actually, I didn't fight that much, but I fought ever since.
Yeah. See, it's funny because, man, like, I hear a story like that, and I'm like, honestly, I didn't have to fight growing up. Like, I mean, I never really had to, like, throw, like, real, like, come to blows with somebody. Every now, when you're a little kid, sometimes, it's like you get into, like, a little shoving match or whatever.
Yes,
but even then, like, I could count the number of times on like, one hand where, I actually had to push, like, get into a pushing match with somebody. And for some reason, it sounds weird to be like, oh, I've never had to, get into like a fight, but it's a bit of a, as we say, a gift and a curse, right? Because on the one hand, it's like, okay, there's just something about the way that I move where I don't end up in that kind of conflict where I have to, like, come to blows with somebody. But then on the other hand, there's the question of not knowing that experience, so that when it does happen, there is this unsurety, there's an uncertainty about, how to move in that space.
Sure.
And
I'll say this. You didn't really say this directly, but I felt it a little bit.
Yeah.
You moved really well. With the sparring that you did, I watched you go through a full range of things. I watched you go through a full range of, okay, I'm going to hit this person. Okay, this person's going to hit me. I watched you go through I can actually hit this person and do something. And I've also seen you go through oh shit, this person's about to do something to me.
Yeah.
I've seen you face the fear of this person is better than me and will hit me and stand there and take it. And I've seen you do your best to give as well as you've gotten. And it's very close to what would happen in a real situation for you.
Yeah.
But you are also a grown man.
Right.
And you did choose to do it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And you went through that range, okay? So you go through that range of fighting no matter what. The only difference from what you experienced here and what I was talking about growing up is I had absolutely no choice and no life experience.
Yeah.
And no life experience. Yeah. Also, my natural tendency is not to fight.
Right.
My natural tendency is not to fight. It's not necessarily to cower, but it's not to fight.
Right.
And I had to realize there is no choice not to fight. You have to fight.
Right.
And you just keep getting pushed until you hit that moment.
Yeah.
The only difference between that and what you did is you chose to come here and put yourself in this situation.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to sit with and explore, because anyone who knows me knows that over the course of my life experience, I've always been the person to, like, avoid conflict by whatever means necessary.
Yeah, you're also well over 6 foot and broad shouldered. No one's walking up to you and gonna start trouble.
And it's interesting because people tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
And even for me, when I was growing up, that's not how I felt. Like, I always felt like I was susceptible to, being bullied. Like, I never saw myself as being imposing.
Sure.
And I wasn't always, like, taller than everybody.
I get it.
But even then, like, I remember when I was a kid, my dad would always try and, like, get me to, speak up and, be more assertive.
Yeah, that's right.
That was one of the things that just, I mean, even to this day, I look back and I'm just like, what loadout did I pick when I came to Earth? I was just like where did I put all my fucking stats? It's just like I put them in something that was not like just like the Berserker class or whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's just like no, it's just something completely different.
I feel you.
But so as an adult, I was just like, I just want to be able to lean into just like just anger and rage and.
You don't necessarily need those things to fight, but I hear you.
Right, but there's a fire that comes.
Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking.
There's a fire that comes along with that energy.
Everything is energy, and everything stokes that fire.
And that's what it is.
Which is why it can be rage.
Right.
It can be protection. It can be fight or flight.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
stokes that fire.
And it's tapping into that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I want to lean into that more, like really sink into that more.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's really how this was born. And I don't know, it's when not everyone always says, I'm going to say it, but like when I was younger, it really felt like tapping into that was a lot easier. But it was also because I think there were other people like stoking, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And now that I'm getting older, for some reason, and maybe that's just the nature of this life experience, it's almost as if though now I am just sitting with, all right, how do I, stoke and fan that for myself? And I'm finding that there are less and less and less things that the external world can do to stoke that. And so now it's almost like I'm whittling it down to like, what is it, what is it that I'm like really here for as I keep removing all of the external things that are like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that.
I hear you, but are we talking about life, acting, or fighting right now? Because it sounds to me like you're talking about life.
It's really life.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm talking about life.
I agree. I mean, I think you continue to do what you enjoy. I think you continue to do what you feel a burning passion for. I think you continue to experiment and play with the things that scare you.
Yeah.
I think you continue to refine your craft in something that you're excellent at, or maybe show off what you're excellent at, just to show that you still got it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you just keep living your life. Do you know what I mean? When it's time to dedicate to yourself, dedicate to yourself. When it's time to dedicate to others, dedicate to others. Like my life is hugely dedicated to my daughter right now, who's about to go to college and be off on her own. A huge portion, the majority of my being is geared toward that as she becomes a young adult and becomes more and more self-efficient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean that's what it is. I mean, you move through these moments of life and you dedicate to yourself or you dedicate to others, right? I mean, I really think that's all there is.
Yeah.
You can enjoy what you do for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you sacrifice the self for others when you enjoy sacrificing for others. And it doesn't matter if it's driving trucks, driving cars, being a father, working out, fighting, acting, being an engineer, being an astronaut, being a botanist. Maybe you love orangutans. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You find your thing and you do it. You find your thing and you do it.
Yeah. I feel like that is the main thing I keep coming around to. And what really just gets in the fucking way sometimes though is I'm not gonna lie. It's I mean, now we have social media, right? But back in the day it was just the comparing yourself to somebody else and just like I feel like every now and again there's the knowing that everyone is on their own particular path. And then there's still the acknowledgement of what everyone else is doing, and it's balancing that out.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will tell you like this. I'm a Gen Xer. And there are times when I am very much a stereotypical Gen Xer, and there are times when I go against the grain. That's kind of the life that I chose, right? Because it manifests everywhere, going with the crowd and fighting against the crowd. It's almost 50-50, do you know what I mean? Like being mixed race even, directly down the line, half black, half white, do you know what I mean? And so that's kind of the life I chose, right? So again, I'm a Gen Xer. I remember the world before all the electronics, when things were analog.
Yeah.
Okay? I remember the world before that. And there's a few things that go with that, which was you could be inspired by seeing someone else accomplish something, which is what we were talking about earlier, but not knowing what it took to get there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there would be a desire that would manifest eventually, or you could see someone and be jealous. You could be inspired. You could be jealous. You could be turned off. You could be turned on, right? And there was a vital component to the inspiration that would make you judge whether you wanted to do something or not do something, boredom. Boredom was massively important. There were moments where you were bored for long stretches of time, and I'm going outside. I'm going to build a ramp and jump my bike over it. Yeah. I'm going to explore the abandoned building. Yeah. I'm going to go into that boxing club. You might wander into the boxing club. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to go talk to that girl I saw at school. Yo, that's my friend across the street. I'm going to knock on the door and see if he's home. You did all of that stuff because you were bored.
Yeah.
You were bored. You went and read a book because you were bored. You went and drew because you were bored. You went to the comic shop because you were bored.
Yeah.
My mom gave me 5 cents. I'm going to go buy penny candy. I'm bored. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's gone. It's pure distraction now. And it's easier to go online and see somebody accomplish something, whether it's real or not, and then scroll to the next person's accomplishment and never be bored and get off your ass and go do your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's mind-boggling and it's crazy, and it's something that I've been fighting against in my own life with my daughter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think I think we can call it here and end it on that, because we have this economy of living vicariously through others that we didn't have before.
Yeah.
I mean, we had it, but not like
not to this level.
Not to this level. Because like you're saying, you can go on, for example, like Instagram, and I mean, they call it a feed for a reason, right? But it's a legit feed of just this person living this life, and very quickly you can fall into this thing of like, oh, I'm doing something because I'm watching other people doing something, and never really kind of like find, what lights that fire for you, which could be documenting what other people are doing.
Sure.
But I don't know that that's what a lot of people are actually doing.
Sure.
It's kind of this thing of like, the economy of just living vicariously through others.
Yeah.
And you never really get around to, doing your own thing and being like, oh, okay, like this is why I'm here.
I didn't crack the code, but I did discover what to do for my daughter, which is pay attention to her interests. Yeah. And she's been national cheerleading champion times.
Pay attention to their interests, man. Seriously.
My man, Qua.
Your fathers. All right, let's get to work.
Bet.
All right?
Let's do it.